Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another week and another episode of the Big Baller Brands podcast. As always, thank you guys for tuning in for another week from wherever you're in the world. Thank you guys so much for staying with me on this journey as I climb these numbers slowly from episode 1 to, I believe now it's episode 44. And the other day I was thinking about this. I said, many people have asked me what podcast episode I'm on. And when I tell them that, they're like, oh my God, you're doing great. Like, you're past the 5 mark or the 10th episode mark, and that just is all the difference. And it occurred to me the other night, I said, it's like 1 to 9 is easy. Anybody can do 1 to 9 if you really want to do it. 1 to 9 is easy. But then getting from 10 to 99 before you hit the triple digit is like a whole nother ball game. So when you're in the singles digits, the 1 through 9, it's okay, beginning, starting, easy, learning, figuring things out. Then you hit the double digits. And that is a very long road. It's a long stretch if you can make it to the triple digits. And that's a whole nother level. And the reason I was thinking about this is because in life, everyone goes through this in a different phase. The beginning can be sometimes the hardest to start, but once you start it, it's not that hard. You figure your rhythm out, it's easy. But then you have the in-between gap that feels like it's gonna take you forever. It's when nothing is really happening, nobody's really noticing you, whatever the payoff you're looking for isn't coming in, but it's a really long stretch. It's a very long stretch. And in that stretch is you grow, you find your voice, you start having different insights, perspectives, views on life, all these things. And whatever that is for you, whether it's growth, school, investing, if you're saving, if you're starting the business, writing the book, also doing a podcast, whatever that is for you, that middle is like the longest stretch. And I was thinking to myself, okay, what happens when I get to the triple digits? What happens when I actually hit 100? Right now, I'm going through that journey of doing these every week, discovering the voice, getting better at it, changing things out here and there. But this is also the part no one pays attention to. A lot of people don't know I exist. Maybe I've gone international, but that hasn't really done anything. But once you hit 99 and you're that close to hitting, the next one is 100, it's a whole nother ballgame. And so I was really reflecting on that. I was really reflecting on this is where I am right now. I'm in the middle. I'm in that very long stretch where do I keep going? How do I keep going sometimes? Knowing that at one point I'm gonna hit the 100, but I'm right in the middle almost. And it just made me think that everyone goes through that. Everyone goes through that moment in their life one way or the other in so many different elements, whether it's professional career, relationships, financially, health-wise, anything with family, just life in general. There's the beginning, there's the middle, that's the long part, and then there's the end, or there's that, it's not necessarily the end, but it's that new beginning phase where you step into a whole nother pair of shoes, a whole nother version of you that made it through the start, made it through the long stretch where no one paid attention to anything, nothing was happening. You probably thought about giving up or thought, how long can I do this for? Is this really making a difference? If it's financially, am I growing my income, my net worth? Is my money working for me? Am I being more productive with it? Whatever it can be for you, you gotta keep going. You just gotta keep going one day at a time, one step at a time, because part of the reality too with this is no matter what, every day ticks by. No matter what, the clock is constantly moving. And so whenever we look at things on social media and we see before and after pictures or carousels, reels, whatever, people, what it was in 2016 to what it is in 2026, you think, oh my God, it was a 10-year journey. Yes and no, it took them a while to get there, but they started getting there, it started developing, right? And people often look at that and they're like, oh my God, that's a daunting journey. I don't want to do that. It's a lot. my God, it's going to take forever. But if you think about it, really, one way or the other, life is happening. One way or the other, 5, 10, 15, 20 years, decades are going to go by. That's not going to happen. Time is going to keep going no matter what. Consider the journey when you start middle and take it all the way down into the triple digits for you, whatever that is, using the time in your benefit, in your favor. That's why people decide to invest. And that's a smart thing to do, because over time that compounds. Everything you're doing through these times compound. You may not see the results right away, but they compound little by little. A friend and mentor of mine said, you don't have to worry about reading a book a week. Just read 5 or 10 pages a day. That's it. And over time, that compounds to how many pages in a week, in a month, in a year. How many books does that come out to be? The same thing comes with personal development, personal growth, anything in life that makes you just become more of yourself. We don't always see the results right away, so we just work on it little by little, but know that there is a result happening. You just don't see it right away. It's compounding behind the scenes, internally. But other people notice it. Other people see it. Other people recognize it. They see the growth. They see the productivity. They see you putting yourself out there, you trying new things, you expanding it all. And I've had this many times already where people are like, I see you, you're growing, like you're doing the thing, you're putting content, like you're just taking action every day. And it may not be perfect. Nothing in that journey is perfect. But the fact that you do it every day is going to compound for you over time, going to give you the results probably far greater than you ever thought possible. So know that, again, it was a fascinating to me insight I had. I was like, 1 to 9 is easy. One lady said she's done 5 podcast episodes before, but then it dwindled off. And then once you get past the 10, you're in the double digits, which is okay. You're being consistent, you're showing up, you're doing it. But then what happens when you get to hundreds? It's like saying, what happens when you save your first 100,000? Who are you gonna be? What are you gonna feel like? How are you gonna walk through life every day? How are you gonna wake up in the morning? How are you gonna carry yourself? When you make your first 100,000, when you save your first 100,000, when the investment gives you the first 100,000, that's the difference right there. That to me is like hitting the hundreds, the triple digits. It's gonna be a whole nother version of you by then. Same for you. Look at how far you've come already with what you've been doing, with what you've been working on. And sometimes the next thing is like literally around the corner. But again, I get it, because I'm in it right now where I'm in the double digit stretch and it's long. And I was like, oh my God, can I make it to 100? Am I gonna stop right at 99? I'm in the center of it all. I gotta keep going somehow. This is pretty crazy and wild, but I was like, how many other people out there probably feel that? Where it just feels so long. It's like you're in college or something like that, or you're running a marathon or something. I just did another 10K on Saturday. And it's like, where's the finish line? You keep going and you're in the long stretch. Because for us, when I did the marathon on Saturday, we like start here, do an L in a way, another turn, and then it goes straight up for a long time. It's a long stretch, but then you finally get to the end. You finally get to that victory lane. So be patient with yourself. Whatever it is you're doing, keep doing it. Keep moving forward. Keep knowing that it's making a difference, even if you don't feel it, even if the results don't show, even if some days you feel like there's no momentum. But just know that this is part of that journey. And you're probably in it just like I am, where you're in the middle and it's where is this going to fruitify for me? And in that journey, again, as I've said before already, you're going to change as a person, who you are. You're going to grow through it. You're going through that whole journey. You're going to look back on when you get to the 100, when you get to your first $100,000 sale, investment return, savings, or maybe your first million. You're going to look back and be like, wow, I went from this to this, and now I'm here, and it's a whole new version of me. And you're probably not the same person you were a year ago. You're definitely not. You've grown, you've experienced life, you've changed, you've adapted, you've faced so many obstacles, challenges, moments that you just sat there and you're like, oh my God, how can I keep going? Gotta keep breathing, gotta take one step. I know from when I started doing this almost a year ago now, it's wow. I'm seeing my number and I'm like, really? And I've had people in other countries hear me, and I'm still just in the middle of it. But also sometimes it does show you signs. There's little signs that pop up. For me, it's been that oftentimes on LinkedIn, I've had people try to connect with me because they're podcast growers, which tells me, okay, something's happening here. My numbers are climbing. I'm getting up there. And imagine what's going to be when I hit 100. So keep going, keep doing it, keep being consistent, keep showing up, because sometimes that's half the battle, and that puts you in a whole other lane versus everybody else. And sometimes don't even focus on where you are on the journey, just enjoy the journey. Many years ago, probably right before COVID, I started going to the gym. And I started going because I was trying to recognize what anxiety was for me. And I was like, how do I manage this? I don't want to take any medication for it. How do I manage this more? And I started going to the gym. And when I first started, I did not measure anything. I didn't even get on the scale. But after 3 or 4 years, one day I decided, okay, I'm going to get on the scale. Mind you, in my 20s, I was stuck at 120 pounds for so long. It was frustrating. I felt so insecure about my body. It was so hard. And then one day I stepped on my scale 3 years ago in the gym and it said 180 pounds. And I was like, what? But that was never the goal. That wasn't part of the goal for me. I wasn't trying to gain weight. I was just like, I love going to the gym, pushing myself, pushing weights and everything, being active. Lo and behold, that was the result of that. But because that wasn't part of the initial intention for it, I just kept doing it without even focusing on the number, and just kept doing it, and boom, many years later, the results came. So it's the same thing, right? When you look at the journey, don't just focus on the end result, enjoy it, and just be so in it that the results will come naturally on their own, maybe when you don't even realize it. But we do have that part of us that wants to know, hey, how far along are we? How close are we to finishing? Where is this going to take me? Other people have results. Other people have so many followers, so much this, so much that. Everyone's journey is different. Other people have more success than I do right now. And I'm like, you know what? That's okay. I'm in a different place. I didn't start this 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Had I started this 10 years ago, who knows where I'd be now? But at the same time, I wasn't ready for it. I didn't find this yet. I didn't have mentors and people who encouraged me to do this. So think of where I'm going to be 10 years from now, 5 years from now, 1 year from now. Where you will be. Just keep going on the journey. Keep hitting those numbers. Keep making steady progress every day. Because on the other side of that is a whole nother life for you, is a whole nother you waiting for you. It's so much more happening on the other side of that. But that's just part of the story you're gonna look back on one day. So again, remember, 1 to 9 is the easy part. Anybody can do it. You figure things out when you start. It's messy, I went through that. But then you hit the double digits, the long stretch. And that's when you're gonna be tested. You're gonna be really tested. And I'm not saying it's always going to be easy, not saying it's always going to be hard, but then you're going to get to that point when you hit 99 and then 100. And imagine what that's going to feel. So if you're in that journey right now, don't look at it as, oh my God, it's going to take forever. Think of it as time's going by anyways. I'm using that as leverage, as my advantage right now. Because if I keep doing this, because I'm going to keep doing this, once it clicks, once that moment happens, the breakthrough, the boom, whatever it is, when that moment hits, everyone has that moment. It does, but it just takes time. You're gonna have a whole nother life. And you're gonna look back at the one you had and be like, so proud of yourself and so grateful that you kept going no matter what. So thank you guys for tuning in. Please subscribe to my channels, like the post, comment on it all. I appreciate you guys showing up as always. And I'm every day, every week, I'm showing up not for me, but for you guys. But I also enjoy doing this too. This is something I enjoy doing now. So thank you again for listening and giving me your time. Till next time, Bala out.